All right, LinkedIn, here we are, end of day one in Q4, October 2nd, if you can believe it. It's just wild to me to think about this. A year ago, I started Steward Your Business, helping small business owners and their teams engage and be more productive. And so, one of the things I think about just for my own business, but for those that I'm helping and those that maybe haven't quite thought about that yet, is what is your strategically plan you're planning to fail, in my opinion. You're looking, if you're not looking for those things, and that's why I love helping small business owners and their teams, because there's so much to consider and think about. Um, just one of those ideas is, how is your operations working? Your overall structure, is it the same now? Oftentimes structures change over time, and I've worked with small businesses, so where you started at the beginning of the year, hopefully you're in a growth mode, but that means you have to look at different roles and responsibilities. How are we developing the team? How are we recruiting the right people in there? Looking at possible changes in your workflow or your processes, new technologies that continue to arise. um, and so, how do you address all those things? And that's just one area of strategic planning and preparing. And so, I'm passionate about people, the teams, the individuals, making sure people fit in the right place, doing the right thing, using their gifts, abilities, and talents to the greatest ability. And so, if you're feeling stuck, or you're feeling kind of held back by your team, or you're just not sure how to engage them, I would encourage you to reach out. I do free discovery calls. There's no cost. It's finding out, is there a good fit? Um, can I bring the skill sets that I have over 20 years in the environmental consulting world, studying these things, about organizational health, employee engagement, identifying risks, challenges with keeping good staff, and also letting staff that aren't as engaged, or don't fit the mission and the vision of the company, and pivoting there. It's hard. It's hard to navigate that while there's so many things to be looking at as a business owner. And so my passion is to help business owners and their teams, as well as individuals, in knowing themselves to lead themselves better. It does start with the business owner and the team. And oftentimes, as a business owner, you feel kind of lonely. You're out there trying to figure this out yourself. You've got some folks, and many of the clients I work with don't have a centralized office even that people come into. So it's challenging to connect, to feel like you're on the same page, that you're all rowing in the same direction, in the same cadence and the rhythm. Um, and so I just want to encourage you, as you're going into the end of the year here. We've got one more quarter, and we're just starting it right now. If you don't know, or you're not clear on what you're tracking and how you're getting there, I encourage you to engage me. I do have room currently to add additional clients, but there's a limit. And so, right, I want to make sure that I'm able to provide top-notch value in helping you as a business owner in these areas. Again, just thinking about how your operations are running, how are you preparing yourself with your team, and maybe end of the year reviews, as you're looking at planning your hiring plan for going into 2024. What does that look like? And so, how do you keep your team engaged, especially in the industry? Oftentimes we see a lull or a change and a shift. So how do we position yourselves? What are your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats to the business, for example? Going through that analysis, looking at that so that you can be in the strongest position as possible as you head into 2024. So just want to encourage you in that. If you feel overwhelmed, or you don't feel like, I don't have anybody else to talk to, or it's just me and I've got some staff in the team, but not having a strategic partner with you, contact me. Let me help you. I've been doing this for over 20 years here in the industry. I've worked as a director, chief operations officer, principal biologist. I understand consulting. I understand the challenges of running a small business. I've been in very large businesses as well, and I've worked in the public sector. So bringing all of that together to bear, as a team member, a collaborator with you on your team as you need it. And so finish well as we go into, we start in Q4 right now. But if you're feeling like I'm not quite sure the next steps, or I could use a second opinion here and give me some perspective and help, I encourage you to reach out to me, Steward Your Business. You can just message me directly. Send me an email, david@stewardyourbusiness.com. Right here on LinkedIn. You can definitely find me here, or I'm on other social medias too. You can just look up David Carr. But just want to encourage you today as we end Monday, the first day of the fourth quarter. How will you end well this year, and how will you set yourself up for success next year? I'm here to support you. I'm an advocate for the AEC industry and for consultants and those that are really wanting to grow their teams and be an advocate for them. So have a great night. Appreciate you jumping on with me for a little bit here tonight, but I want to encourage you in that as we go into Q4 and wrap up 2023. So have a great night, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks all.